Hey, everybody, and we are live today, fresh from a USO Mastering LinkedIn webinar with Matt and Kadine from our recruiting team. Thanks for joining us, guys. So, before we get started, why don't you go ahead and drop where you're watching us from, number one. And if you are a job seeker, why don't you drop in what you're looking for? If you've got an idea of what kind of job or what kind of location you're looking for, to help any of the recruiters that are dialing in see and maybe match you against an opportunity. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll make something happen. So today, fresh out of a Mastering LinkedIn webinar, I get Matt and Kadine on, and they go, Mike, what do you think we talk about? How about we talk about networking? Oh my God. So we are going to talk about networking. And I think what's important is to share their stories and how networking has impacted their lives, since you have all heard so much from me over the past few years. So let's start with you, Matt. You've got an interesting story about networking, and I believe I took a dump on your profile at some point.
Yeah, it was close. Yes, you did. But so it was about a little over a year ago. So I started the transition process. I wasn't expecting it to kind of happen. It just kind of, hey, medical stuff's happened. It's time to get out. I was nowhere near ready to go. Started getting on LinkedIn a little bit more, created a profile, got it going. I got an internship with HireMilitary. I was like, as I found in the skill bridge, like, great. I started reading more about the company, who you were, what you did, found the Mastering LinkedIn workshop. Like, this sounds great. I'm going to sign up for this. And then there was a box that says, would you like your profile reviewed? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? Click. Come to find out, live in front of a couple hundred people and you, my new boss at the time, it wasn't very good. And he told me that. It was very blunt. And luckily, I knew what I didn't know, but I also didn't know what I didn't know. And it all helped. And it encouraged me to really seek out more opportunities for improving the profile, networking, finding the right people in the right locations. Once I got brought onto the company, figure out what DNPP was, the digital networking professional program. Got involved with that, got that certification, really learned a lot about the networking piece that it has helped me significantly. Granted, I didn't really need to, I didn't have to find a job or anything like that. I had my internship, got the job when I got done, but I still use it to connect with others in different areas. I want to connect with veterans in different states to grow the network. So when we have new jobs or we want to share, I can share it. They see it, and it's a ripple effect as it goes out to the masses. And I think that really helped me significantly as I was getting out, because I realized there was so much out there that I just didn't understand about the job searching, looking at the salaries, the interview prep would have been amazing to know before I did that. Luckily, I did all right. I got the job. I got the internship somehow.
Can I add just a couple little disclaimers? One, I didn't know you from Adam when I did the profile review, and I certainly didn't know you had an internship at the time. So up pops this Matt Hart character.
Yeah,
and
I think it was
get a profile, and I do remember distinctly tearing it up. And I think at the end, you told me you were getting ready to do an internship with HireMilitary.
Yeah, I think I got offered it like a day or two before.
Yeah. So,
and then we started talking. I was like, yeah, actually, I just got an internship with this company called HireMilitary. And then there was laughter. Like, oh crap, look what just happened.
What I remember most from that was how you handled the feedback. A lot of people take feedback personal. A lot of people could have gotten upset. I've had people get upset with me giving them very candid feedback, even if they ask for it. A lot of people went in a corner. A lot of people said, I don't want to work there. And instead, you took the feedback for what it was, took what, kind of applied to you, and actually then went for your, digital networking professional program certification and made it a strength. So when you talk about character, professionalism, networking, resilience, Matt, that really stood out, and that's why you're killing it right now on the recruiting team. And I think Kadine would agree, right? You see that all the time. So thank you, Matt, for taking that way and reminding me of that wonderful situation.
Yeah, it was good. Luckily, I mean, it's advice. That's what it is. When you network and you talk to different people, it's advice, it's feedback. And I saw one of your posts, I think it was yesterday, the day before. A lot of what we share is mistakes. It's a mistake that I made. Don't make this mistake, or look out for this because it could happen to you. It's somebody's perspective. If somebody knows more about than I do, to at least have an open mind going into something. I'm not going to go in like I know everything, because I don't. And it was just eye-opening, and it was good to learn.
And people connect with vulnerability. So, authentic vulnerability. So, no, thank you for sharing that story, Matt. And we'll get back to you in a minute.
Okay.
So, Kadine,
yeah,
how has networking? Well, so one, you're always smiling, so that must make it easy. But how has networking? And I'm not making that up, people. She literally is always smiling.
I am.
How has networking impacted your life?
That is a loaded question, Mike, because I truly feel like the trajectory of my career completely changed when I got out of the military. When you're in the military, the only thing you're focused on is making rank, networking with people that are within maybe your branch or just anything related to that, right? So when I got out of the military, I found out real fast that it's not what you know sometimes, it's who you know. And when I went on to LinkedIn, my profile was bare bone. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried my hardest to connect with as many recruiters as possible. And I did remember meeting one gentleman, and we're still connected to this day. He took the time to sit down with me. We spoke together, and then he promoted me on his profile. And through doing that, making that networking connection, I was able to meet so many different people, which led me to the opportunity that I have today. So networking is so important. And Mike, when I talk about networking, right, it's not just bombarding a bunch of recruiters' inbox and trying to be put your name out there, put your resume out there. Genuinely get to know the people that you're connecting with. Like ask them for maybe a 5-10 minute conversation. Get to know about them, their likes, what they are interested in. So you're making meaningful connections, not just generic connections that you're going to forget about 2 minutes into it, right? So it really did change my career. It really did change my life, I would say, as corny as it sounds. In fact, Mike, most of the candidates that I speak with, we actually became friends, right? Like we follow each other, follow our successes. I'm so happy when they find success, even if it's not with HireMilitary. So it's just so important. I cannot go on enough about the importance of putting yourself out there, getting to know people, being authentic, and creating that meaningful relationship.
I love it. I love it. We're communal creatures. I mean, we're really only as strong as our community, right? When it comes to opportunities, when it comes to supporting one another. And what I love is that something you articulated, Kadine, is that, somebody shared their network with you. And just that one action opened up a lot of doors. And that's something I like to remind a lot of people that are in their transition, that are trying to build their network, is if you have a relationship with someone, if you like truly build a connection, like you feel like you've connected, you have a great conversation, you follow up and they answer, there's nothing wrong with asking them if there's anybody else they know to introduce you to, right? And it could be through a LinkedIn post, but even more, it could be a phone call. I think sometimes we fail to leverage our second degree networks, like and ask somebody for an introduction. My role at EY came because I asked a friend and mentor if he knew anybody at EY to introduce me, right? And I will share with people, and I've got a post on this coming out in the next couple of days, but I offer up my network to people. Like there's people I know, people I've connected with, people I feel a connection to, and I say, hey, if you are considering a company, if you want to be introduced to somebody or whatever, if I can use my network to help you, here's my phone number, give me a call. And you would be amazed how few people take me up on it. like how few actually pick up the phone and hey, Mike, do you know anybody at this company? And when the ones that do, I take care of them. But we've got to understand that we've got to build that network and we've got to leverage them. If you have relationships, if someone says, let me know I can help, let them know how they can help. We don't read minds, right? So speaking of reading minds, so we talked about networking. I love both of your perspectives that are both similar and somewhat different. I don't really think we should be reading minds on jobs that you're looking to fill right now, right? So which one of you is going first on a few jobs that you have available for service members, veterans, military spouses?
So, Matt, if you don't mind, I would love to share the opportunities that I have. And then before sharing opportunities, I was looking in the comments, and a lot of you guys are looking for roles that we currently have. So if you haven't already, please check out our careers page. Please join our talent pipeline. I see a lot of positions for HR, IT, program manager. All of these we do have within our scope. So go ahead and check those out. With that said, if you are interested in exploring any skill bridge opportunities, and as well, we did talk a little bit about networking. So if you're not looking to pursue this, but you know someone else in your network who may be, please go ahead and refer them over. So let's jump into it. We do have a recruiting skill bridge position for a company called Aptiv. So this is a remote position, but with it being remote, they do want someone in the local DMV area. So what is required of this position? They do want someone who has your bachelor's degree. And then the good thing is if you don't have your bachelor's degree, they will take X amount of years of experience in lieu of that. So it makes up for it. They do want someone as well who's proficient in managing multiple projects and recruiting within the federal space. In addition to someone who can utilize job board, we're talking about Indeed, Clearance Job, or LinkedIn, social media. So if that is of interest to any of you guys, or if you know someone who's wanting to pivot into the recruiting area, please go ahead and refer them over. And then the link to all of my position will be in the description as well, if not in the comments. And then secondly, we do have a warehouse lead supervisor, and that's with an amazing company called Satellite Shelter. We actually just got this position today, you guys. It was hot off the press, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So what is required of this position? They do want someone with a minimum of 5 years of experience within the manufacturing operating space. And then if you do have leadership experience, that is definitely a plus. That's highly desired. And then they do want someone who has experience with Lean Sigma 6, that is required. In addition to, if you're a leader over about 20 people or more, they want someone who's more like that to show that you have that leadership capabilities. Last and not least, you guys, we do have a workflow coordinator. And again, that is with Satellite Shelter, but this one is in Fresno, California. Amazing weather, but apart from that, they do want someone who has about 3 years of experience working in a manufacturing environment or something that is similar to that. And then they do want someone who has experience creating work orders and then working around any issues relating to work orders, meaning dealing with managers or the sales team in regards to that. In addition to having a bachelor's degree. So this is preferred and not required. So those are the 3 amazing skill bridge roles I have today. Again, if it does not apply to you, please pass it on to your network. And we look forward to reviewing anyone that come forward. Thank you, guys.
And I think it's important to note that when we talk about skill bridge, for anybody that doesn't know, they're looking for transition and service members within their last 180 days of service, being able to start and finish the program. The ones that are on site, so you can go there and get a running start on your transition. And just so everybody understands, last year we had over 97% of our skill bridge interns got a job offer at the conclusion of their internship, which is a very, very high number. And that's because all of our clients come with headcount identified, meaning they are already hoping to hire someone into that role. And you are a full-time member of their team for 3 or 4 months. So thank you for sharing that, Kadine. That rocks. By the way, if you decide you don't want to be a recruiter, you could probably be a TV announcer or something because it looks so natural.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Whenever I come after you guys, I feel like, a bull in a china shop or something like that. Matt, over to you.
All right, thank you. So the ones I'll be sharing, these are going to be more for on the direct hire side. So for veterans and military spouses, obviously the veterans that have already transitioned out of the military. And one of the great things about HireMilitary is we're just continuing to grow, and we're in a great place right now. This week alone, we've brought in approximately 16 jobs. Again, just this week in Wisconsin, Texas, Florida, Minnesota, Kentucky, California, Colorado. We've had so many different opportunities pop up this week with everything from manufacturing, electrical, operations, IT, you name it. Like, we're bringing in a lot of new companies, existing companies with new opportunities because we've had some success with them in the past, and they just want to keep tapping into that veteran and military spouse community. So again, if you don't hear anything, just go to our website, reach out to one of us directly, and we'll be able to help point you in the right direction. A couple of the big ones that are kind of related, the first two. The first one's like a maintenance manager. It's in Birchwood, Wisconsin. So this one, there are quite a few technical skills that are going to be associated with it. So there is going to be a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering or manufacturing technology, at least 5 years experiencing in an industrial type environment. And again, just like one of Kadine's, the Lean Six Sigma, Kaizen, the 5S, any of those big process improvement backgrounds are highly, highly desired for this company. A PLC experience in electrical, having that background. They need a leader. They need people with a great personality, and they have a great veteran support network. I've kind of helped them over the past year kind of point things in the right direction, but they've really taken things upon themselves to build that network. We meet every couple of months with all the veterans that we've helped transition out of the military and really just try to keep engaged with the organization. The next one is an electrical engineer. It's also in Wisconsin. This one's in Milwaukee. So they want a 4-year technical degree, electrical or computer engineering, minimum 3 years experience in an industrial environment, just something involving manufacturing, electrical assembly, things like that. It's not quite as many qualifications for it, but again, it's still very closely related in that Wisconsin area. And if you want to look at other opportunities, we have a lot more that we've taken this week that are closely related to that. The last one is a big one. It's kind of like the SkillBridge one, but we have a corporate recruiter. It's supposed to be in Florida. They're considering a hybrid type role, so a few days in the office and a few days at home. For the right type of person, it could be fully remote, but again, it's based in Florida. If you have 1 to 3 years of HR experience, anything focused on recruiting and onboarding, they would like somebody with bachelor's in human resources, business administration, but having the experience conducting interviews, being able to read a resume, being able to decipher skills and like what they're actually looking for. And that's something I've had to learn along the way, is looking at resumes, aligning skills with what somebody has, especially the veterans, the transitioning military. Like, I can see what they've done, what the company is looking for, and try to help them translate those skills into what can make them a competitive candidate for that position. Your job as a recruiter is really working with people, and having that HR background is very, very important. Trust me. Mm-hmm. I'm learning it as I'm going. And it's unique.
I love it. So for people that are looking to learn more about these roles, they can go to HireMilitary.us, and there's a tab they can click for internships, and there's a box for jobs, correct? Yep. They could also reach out to either of you to discuss them. Is that correct on LinkedIn?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So before we cut this one down, let's get some advice for people that may be interested in the roles. Kadine, let's start off with you. If they're interested in a DoD SkillBridge internship, can you talk them through like what the process will look like? How, like a SkillBridge screen and all the other stuff, and how they can better make themselves best candidates?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are interested in a DoD skill bridge, the first thing you'll go ahead and do is create an account on HireMilitary. Once you do create an account, you can feel free to connect with myself or Brandy Walker, who's a senior skill bridge recruiter as well. We'll go ahead and set up a screening depending on what role you are interested in. During that screening, we typically go over your qualification, background, and talk more about the position as well. When we do that, then we will proceed forward to present you to the company if you are a right fit. But in general, I would say the number one advice I would give anyone who's interested in the skill bridge: do not be too like focused on just one area. So let's say that you have a background in HR, but there's no HR role, maybe explore recruiting, or maybe if you have experience as a program manager, maybe like exploring other opportunities with transferable skills you may have, because you never know, right? Sometimes we're in the military and we think this is where we want to stay, but don't limit your opportunities as well. So those are the advice I have for you today. Please connect with Brandy and I. We look forward to assisting any one of you guys. And again, networking. Thank y'all.
I love that advice. I know people get super ultra focused on one thing and they can't find it and they end up not getting anything. And I say, wouldn't you rather do any internship than be sitting in the office, counting down the days? And a lot of people that I speak with that found their success after the military, their transition took a pivot along the way. It took a curve, an unexpected path that created incredible opportunities. So I think that's incredible advice. If you can't find exactly what you want, start applying for some other things and broaden your experience. And worst case scenario, you get in with a company, they love you, and they find or create that role for you 3-4 months down the road. So great advice, Kadine. Matt, what about for you? For people that are interested in some of these opportunities, what can they expect, and how can they make themselves better candidates?
So when you're reaching out, you can apply on the website. You can reach out to us directly ahead of time. Either way, I think one of the best things you can do is start tailoring your resume a little bit. I have a good base resume. It hasn't been updated in ages, but I have resumes prepared. When I was doing my big job search, I'd have ones for different types of positions, different industries, things like that. But you reach out to one of us, you apply. We'll try to set up a screening with you, and it's an informal 20 to 30 minute screening. Answer any questions you have about the position, the company, look at the resume. And one of the things that typically will slow things down is the resume. And unfortunately, that's the one that we do have to send it over to the company. And yeah, that's what's going to help you get your foot into the door. But we also do the screenings to find out your personality, see, what information we can bring out. Because, I have people like just today, I talked to somebody applying for an operations manager position. He's a recruiter. He did a little bit of logistics early on in his career, and he had some instructor experience. It wasn't related to the position, but I was like, let's go through the responsibilities line by line. Have you done this? Yes, I have. Okay. How? Put that in right there, very first line, because that's the first bullet point on the job description. Okay, what's next? Next one. Have you done this? When? Oh, it was like 10 years ago. I don't care. Put it in there.
Yeah.
Have you done it? Almost copy and paste it, but then tailor it to how you have experienced it, how you have done it. Qualifications, you have a summary section. You have skills. Are they looking for it? Do you have it? Okay, put it up there. I tell people, I'm not going to apply for cybersecurity with a real estate resume.
Yeah.
I have no experience in either of those, but that's the way I describe it to people.
Yeah. I love it.
Read the job descriptions and tailor your experience. While you're waiting, tweak the resume a little bit. We'll still help you.
Right.
We're not just going to be like, no, go figure it out, man. We want to see everyone succeed. We're going to work with resume, but it is on you, the looking for the job, to work on, but to help. But go through the screening, look through it. But I went black, I think.
No, you're good. It got a little slow, but I think we hit the right points on that one, Matt. No, I think that was the most practical description of tailoring a resume that I'd ever heard. That was just mind blowing. You just simplified it to I'm a little mind blown. I see Lucy saying it, but literally, See that first line? That's important to them. Did you do that? Yes. Where's it at? See the second line? Where's that at? Put it in your resume. Mind blowing. So, guys and gals out there listening in, just some incredibly fantastic advice there. Understand that when a company looks at the resume, they're not looking for your autobiography. They're looking for the times you've done the things that they need you to do. So, they're trying to kind of tell that you have experience doing the job, and they're not going to have to train you from scratch on everything and hope you can learn how to do it. So, fantastic advice, Matt. Fantastic advice, Kadine. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any last words? I think Matt sounds like he wants to say something else. No? Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Remember, I know we have our hot jobs where the team does it on the HireMilitary page every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So the team gets together and does it on theirs. I'm trying to do the same on Thursdays with our team. You can look to join us. We like to engage. And, if you want to pop some questions in here or something that you'd like us to cover on my session next week, drop them in the comments and we'll take it under consideration. Have a great day and stay positive and always be networking. Bye, everyone.